Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome y'all to our YouTube channel. And I want to first apologize to y'all that I've not been on here to put out a video here recently. I really ain't got no much to say about it. The only thing is I just been going through some things and going through a lot. And I ask y'all just please bear with me. But I'm going to share today. I'm going to share a dream with you that I had not too long ago, and it's regarding about the births and pains, about the times of sorrow that we are mentioned in Matthew 24. Approximately 2 years, I've done a video on the same thing when it was first came to me that we was in their times of sorrows, like what's mentioned there in Matthew chapter 24 in the Bible. And this year it came to me again. And but if you want to see the first one, you can find it there on our YouTube channel. And it is a video I done about Time of Sorrows, uh, about 2 years whenever I done the video. And then here recently I had this one here was uh, the night before July the 22nd. And this here is August, almost about the middle of August. And I'm just now getting around to this, and it's been weighing heavily on my mind to get it to you, but we're gonna, I'm gonna start it off here. And I like when I get done, I like your all's opinions, give your all's thoughts, and especially toward the last part, which really has gotten me to where I really don't understand. I mean, I had like two. One long dream, and then all of a sudden it switched to another one. It was real short, but it's kind of odd. Really didn't understand it. But we're going to start this one off about, and I've titled it "The Time of Sorrows Are Increasing." Uh, Again, I don't know how far we are in the time of sorrows or how long it'll last, but all I can tell you, if they say that the world's going to get better and everything, well, it's not. You can go there in the Bible and see where it's talked about where the times is going to get worse and worse, worse, and we're in those times, people. Y'all better be waking up and taking heed to the warnings. But I'm going to start off with this. Just bear with me, telling about this dream. I was shown to me in a dream the night before July the 2nd of 2023. This is what I saw within the dream. I remember being inside of a large facility and I could see many types of machinery everywhere I looked. I remember seeing a man and woman, and they were both walking around monitoring all the machines that were in the facility with us. The machines they both were monitoring was both small and large. I noticed the man starting to get concerned at some of the measurements he was observing from one of the machines he was monitoring. I could see one of the machine's monitors he was observing, and I could see large spikes starting to rise higher and higher and increasing on the monitor from the machine. Once I saw the increasing spikes from the monitors, I then saw both the man and woman started to move more quickly from machine to machine, writing down the information they both were receiving onto writing pads and notebooks. Somehow, I knew something was not right as both the man and woman looked and were concerned from their readings. Suddenly, I started feeling trembling within the floor beneath my feet, and I started seeing objects start moving as I saw both glass and other objects started falling off onto the floor with glass breaking everywhere. At this point, that I now knew what both the man and the woman were doing as they were there monitoring machines for the increasing shaking and trembles. We all knew something at this point was coming, but what? Once the trembling had totally stopped, I remember looking over to my left to see a huge window that had completely busted out from the heavy trembling to look outside from the window. As I looked out the window, I saw a portion of the land that looked as if it had sunken downwards, creating sinkholes in different parts of the ground outside. I remember seeing vapors of smoke coming up from various places from the ground along with what looked like lava. Suddenly I heard a voice, which the voice came from neither the man nor woman. However, it was plain to me as if someone was standing next to me. The voice said unto me, 2 years. I can remember asking myself what it meant by saying 2 years. Suddenly, right before my eyes, everything changed, even though being at the same facility, but it looked totally different, and it felt as if some amount of time had gone by, but I knew that I was at the same facility I had been at before. It felt as if I had never left the facility, but that somehow time had gone by right before my eyes. Even though it was the same facility, it looked very different than before, as much looked to had been redone, modified, and rebuilt even stronger. I saw they were many more machines, monitors, computers everywhere than they were before, and they were several more, both men and women, than they were the first time. I knew some time had gone by as I remembered the voice before saying it to me, 2 years. However, was it meaning just the timing, or did it mean something else that was coming and about to happen? Or did it mean possibly both? Time would tell. After 2 years had passed, there were many more individuals that was now at this facility working, and it was as if nobody could see me or never paid me no attention, as they were all busy working and walking around monitoring all the monitors and machines. At this point, my wife Jenny was now at this facility with me, as I remember keeping her close to me as I instructed her to stay close and not get too far or stray too far off. My wife Jenny and I noticed that the workers, or what looked to be like scientists, were beginning to compare their studies and notes from monitoring the machines, and it was like if they knew something was wrong and that something was coming, and they were neglecting to say anything about it to the public. Suddenly, as it had done before, there came large trembling and rumbling beneath our feet. I saw objects falling off the tables onto the floor, and I heard glass breaking everywhere around us, as these shakings and tremblings was much worse than it had done the first time I had experienced before. I remember grabbing hold of Jenny, and we were having a very hard time standing as we both worked out worked out our way to place where we could brace ourselves up against the wall. The trembling and shaking also lasted much longer this time than it had before. Once the dangers of the trembling and shaking were over, Jen and I looked at one another, and we both agreed that they knew something was wrong and that something was coming, and they neglected to let anyone know. Jenny and I walked over to a large window to look outside the facility, and to our surprise, we saw a large volcano that had formed with lava pouring out and with large amounts of thick black smoke that was rising out of the top of the volcano, filling the skies with thick black clouds. Somehow, Jen and I both knew that it wasn't over, and that what was to come was going to be much worse. We noticed that once this volcano had appeared, that much to our surprise, that instead of people watching and getting prepared, people were showing up to see this volcano that had formed instead of taking heed to the warning signs and dangers. We saw these people having smiles upon their faces and acting like nothing had happened and going about their own business, ignoring the warnings and the dangers that were coming. Instead, they were considering it as like a big party and sightseeing event. My wife and I started trying to warn the people that they needed to be watching and getting prepared, that it wasn't over, that something more terrible was coming, but the people would not listen to us. We looked out of, of the window again to see that sinkholes had now formed and that smoke had lava was now also coming from the sinkholes. There was a time like everything got silent. Suddenly, shaking and trembling started taking place once again, and these were much worse and more violent. We could see everyone that they had no place to go and that they were all in panic and with everyone falling to the floor. Jenny and I looked out the window from where we were. We started seeing large, huge cracks opening in the ground outside. Suddenly, the volcano exploded with a huge explosion, sending debris and lava in every direction, and everywhere the lava landed, it caught immediately on fire. I remember a little of the lava had gotten on Jenny and me when the volcano had exploded, but I can remember that it did not hurt me or Jenny. Now that was the part about that scene, and then right after that, it's like I've seen like a whole new type of dream, but it happened instant, like it switched from that dream to another. And this is very short, and I don't know what to say about it. I don't have a clue about it. And if you all do, please feel free to contact us and let us know and give us your all's thoughts and opinions. But it reads as then appeared another quick scene in the dream as if it switched to another, and in this one I saw like they were two amps or speakers attached and sitting on something like a stand or something, and both speakers were turning left to right, never stopping. I saw wires that were attached to the speakers, and the wires were also attached to what looked like a head from a mannequin or from something else. But it did look artificial, and these two speakers were attached to this artificial head that was next to them. This is where the dream ended. If y'all have any thoughts and opinions to any of these, or give your all's expressions to these any of these dreams, feel free to contact us. Let us know. We'll be happy to hear from you. And will say this: we are in a time of sorrows. I mentioned it approximately 2 years before. You can also find that video to the first one I become aware of it, and I done a video on it. Now here it is 2 years later, and I get another one on it, and this time it's telling me that this dream here that our time of sorrows are increasing, and people's really not taking heed or waking up to it. And people needs to be a taking heed and keeping watch and getting prepared and seeking the Lord. Seeking the Lord is the main priority. And if you're not right with the Lord, I suggest you be asking Him to forgive you and reconcile with Him and asking Him for forgiveness and accept Him into your life because He's the only one that is going to be. Nobody comes to the Father but through me. That's what Jesus says. The only way enter the kingdom of heaven is through Jesus Christ, accepting Him as your Lord and Savior. But I'll end right here. But I want to say, if you all haven't done so already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and share us around and give us a thumbs up on our videos because it really helps our channel out tremendously. And I'll be placing a Bible teaching on it here pretty soon on the unforgiving servant, on how important it is to forgive one another. I ask you all to be watching for that. I'll be getting it up here sometime soon. And if you all like to support us, there's links to this video in the description box where to do that. You can go straight to the our website at mitchsmithbiblestudies.com. And there's a link there where you can help us out if you feel led to. But it's greatly appreciated. All of it goes into the ministry. And again, if you all feel to help us out and help the ministry out, the links are there, and it is much greatly appreciated. But again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, feel free to do so. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, here on YouTube, and on our website. And the website is mitchsmithbiblestudies.com. And there are some resources on there to where it can help you out with your studies and so. And want to say, be safe. Remember to read and study your Bibles. Pray daily and give the good Lord the praise and glory He so rightly deserves. I want to say, God bless y'all and y'all's families. And until next time, God bless y'all and be safe.